Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 104 of my brand new Comics Haul series, where I show you guys all the new books that I pick up at my local comic shop every single week, and I tell you a little bit about everything you need to know about every single issue. So this week I think I've got 7 issues in total. Not too bad of a haul. I've definitely got to read a lot of reading to get through. I've got 5 issues from Marvel here, 1 from Image, and 1 from Boom Studios that I'll show at the very end. But let's just get right into it here with my most anticipated issue of the week. This is a big one, probably the biggest release from Marvel, at least, that came out this week. This one is Doctor Strange #1. So big oversized issue. There's like a 10-page backup story in the back of this one also. We've got Alex Ross doing cover art for this series ongoing. And yeah, so this is written by Jed MacKay. He's been writing Doctor Strange for the last couple of years, but in some different ways, right? I wasn't reading that last series that he did, which was called Strange, and it followed Clea, who's like Doctor Strange's magician, like love interest that's been around in Doctor Strange comics for a while, I guess. I didn't know too much about the character, so I decided not to pick up her run as Doctor Strange. But I guess by the end of that, she ended up resurrecting Steven somehow, and now he's, back to the whole status quo. Jed MacKay's whole run started with the death of Doctor Strange event, though, now. And now it's come all the way full circle. I think it's kind of cool, this concept here, or just this master plan that Jed MacKay had. I'll be happy to see Bats the Ghost Dog. I forgot about that character, to be honest. I just haven't been reading Doctor Strange in a while, right? So if you guys enjoyed that Strange run, I heard some people saying some really good things about it. I'm curious to know more about what happened, if you know, down in the comment section below, like what led to Doctor Strange's resurrection and everything. Because Jed MacKay is definitely a reliable writer right now. I'm really liking his work on Moon Knight. He's got a new Avengers run coming out, so he's like probably Marvel's biggest writer at the moment. And they're really, putting some confidence in him for the future. Here's a little bit more of the interior artwork. Definitely unique art style by Pascal Ferry here, who's doing ongoing pencils on this series. So, great creative team. We'll see how this goes. I might put out a review of this one if I do have time, just a quick non-spoiler one. So, look out for that review coming out shortly after I put out this haul. But yeah, Doctor Strange #1. Let me know if you guys are planning on picking that one up too. Next up, though, another kind of big release here from Marvel. This is ASM, Amazing Spider-Man #22. So this villain on the cover, I'm forgetting his name, but we kind of got revealed that he has something to do with whatever happened to Spider-Man 6 months ago that's caused him to break ties with so many characters in the present day ever since this run started. And, this whole arc, because I think it's going to be 6 issues going to issue 26. It's just like explaining everything that happened, right? How he ended up breaking up with Mary Jane, how she's ended up with like a new, partner that has his own kids that she's now the mother of. So a lot going on in this book. To be honest, I really wasn't too big of a fan of that last issue. But I do want to stick through with this series because I do just want to at least see what Zeb Wells' whole idea was for this to begin with as a writer. In general, though, this run has really been just kind of miss after miss, at least for the last few issues, in my opinion, because I was not a fan of that Dark Web event at all. But we'll see about this. I mean, I'll definitely keep buying this. I feel like Amazing Spider-Man is like the most notorious comic, especially from Marvel, that people just keep on buying no matter what. Like, people are always talking about how much this book sucks, but people keep on buying it, right? So, big things happening in here. Not too big of a fan of the last issue, but let's at least, hear Zeb Wells through and see what he's got going on in this story arc. We'll see. That's ASM 22. Next up, though, this is one that I just added to my pull list. Haven't been getting this series ongoing, but this is Carnage #11. So the only reason I wanted to jump on now, I think I read like the first and second issues maybe when this series started and then dropped it. But this is kind of a good jumping on point, right? We've got a new writer on here, at least a guest writer, taking over from Ram V, who's the ongoing writer on the series. And there's going to be this crossover between the Miles Morales series and Carnage and the Red Goblin series, right? So this writer that's writing Carnage also writes Red Goblin, and the crossover is called Carnage Reigns. So I just wanted to get a little bit caught up on Carnage at least, and hopefully this will give a little bit more background on what's been going on in that book and what's leading him into being like in this like powerful like Iron Man suit or something that we've been seeing in the covers of those previews for Carnage Reigns. So yeah, I've heard like decent things about Carnage. I don't know how many people are still reading it, and I'm curious what you guys think of it if you're still on this book. So we'll see about this. I'll be very curious about the crossover. I guess it's kind of a cash grab from Marvel if we're really being honest. Just crossing over series and like forcing people to buy series they normally wouldn't. But they still got me kind of excited. I like the little like Carnage mini events that they do every once in a while. But that's Carnage #11. We'll see what's up with that. One of the last issues I got from Marvel here, though, this one is Punisher #10. One of the best ongoing series from Marvel. I keep on praising this book. It really hasn't slowed down since it started. The last issue was probably the biggest one of the series yet. It wrapped up I guess the whole Ares arc. Ares, the god of war, was the villain, leading this like villainous team, the they're called the Apostles of War, right? They would like deal weapons to other villain organizations and stuff across the Marvel universe. Crazy artwork in here. So now, ever since that, Punisher has like really been embracing his role as the leader of the Hand, this ninja organization that he's been running, right? But he's worshiping this great beast, like this monstrous entity that has been giving him powers as a representative for, this god, right? So Punisher really getting powers, really becoming a bigger player in the Marvel Universe. And I guess the idea behind these last few issues of the series, since it's supposed to wrap up with, I think, 12 or 13 maybe, is just that, he's really becoming a villain and all of the heroes are going after him. So we'll see about that. I feel like that's a trope that's been done many times before with Punisher, but I'll still be curious. That's Punisher number 10. Good artwork, good writing in that book. I definitely recommend it. Last issue from Marvel, though. This is a series that doesn't come out too often anymore, I feel like. There's a big break in between the last issue and this one. This is She-Hulk number 11. I was noticing we have some new artwork in here. There's really not too much going on in this book, but I still keep picking it up because the dialogue is pretty good. I think it's mostly well written for the most part, even if it feels like each installment really doesn't give you too much actual story. Right now we're dealing with She-Hulk and Jack of Hearts, who's become her love interest over the course of the series, but is like this newly resurrected Avenger, who I didn't know too much about, but this series really does fill you in on his history. I guess during the Avengers Disassembled event a while ago, it seemed like he died and had to sacrifice himself because he was too powerful. Man, the artwork is looking really simplistic in here. I'm not sure if I'm liking this. It's definitely a little bit different than a lot of other art that we've had in this series so far. I mean, we'll see about this. I'll keep on picking it up for the time being because it's still a pretty enjoyable series. But like I said, not too much happening in She-Hulk every issue for the most part. Next up, though, moving on to Image Comics, I picked up one issue from them this week. Pretty big release, the return of this series. It's been a few months since an issue came out. This one is Vanish number 5. So this is the Donny Cates Ryan Stegman creator-owned book, right? It's about this world where there's like a magic school for youngsters in a different reality, right? It's a little bit like Harry Potter, but with a darker undertone. So now all those kids from the magic school that had been shut down because this villain called Vanish attacked it when they were all still kids, those villains have come into the regular world, and now our main character Oliver is having to track them down, and they're posing as a superhero team that's celebrated by the public. So I think it's kind of cool concept where it flips a superhero idea on its head, because the good guy is actually seemingly killing this superhero team, right? So he seems villainous to the public. There's a lot more going on. It's been a little while since an issue has come out, so I might need a refresher on some of the characters and all that. But good artwork in here, good quality also. We've got a cardstock cover. And my main complaint with this series so far, it really hasn't been my favorite for the first few issues. It's just that there's way too much action in each issue to the point where it's kind of meaningless. We don't really get much character development or anything like that. So we'll see. I'll keep picking it up because it's Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman. They probably have some sort of master plan like they did for Venom, right? We'll see about that. That's Vanish number 5. But the last issue I picked up this week is from Boom Studios. This is the only ongoing series I get from them. And this is Grimm, issue number 9. So I don't know how long the series was actually originally supposed to be, if it was always ongoing or what, because they've kept it going for a while now. I think they just plan on having this be an ongoing series because of its popularity. It's written by Stephanie Phillips, who's definitely an up-and-comer in the comics industry. She just launched a couple new series from Marvel, and this one obviously has been selling pretty well. The artwork in here is probably my favorite part at this point in the series. A pretty specific color set, just really well detailed, and great artwork overall. The plot on the other side is a little bit confusing, to be honest. They don't give you recap pages or anything like that in a lot of independent books, including this one. So a lot of the times I just forget what was going on in the last issue. And all I know is just that there's this side plot going on where people aren't able to die anymore, right? So all these hospitalized people with horrible wounds and stuff, they're not actually able to die. So it's just been really graphic, crazy stuff. So interesting concepts in here. I like the ideas of just there being many Grim Reapers, including our main character. It's a pretty good series. I recommend trying it out. I thought it was a lot stronger at the beginning, but I'll keep on going with this and see where it goes. But that was every issue I picked up for New Comic Book Day this week, guys. Let me know which issues you were excited to read this week, or if you already read them. Let me know which was your favorite down in the comments section below. Also, we're getting closer and closer to that 500 subscriber milestone. So if you've been enjoying the content and you're not already subbed up to the channel, make sure to hit that big red button that's sitting right below the video. Really appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully I'll see you next week for next week's haul. Bye, guys.